Diamond friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kalikaloo on the internet, and I also go by the name of Kali, and I'm very happy that you found your way to today's video, which is not a whip and sip and chat. So if you're new to the channel or to diamond painting in general, WIP stands for work in progress. So this is my WIP. It is Dogs Watching Santa from Dreamer Designs. And so this is the project that I have been working on for quite some while, and you can see I still have not finished it. My goal was to finish it before like 2024. This did not happen though. So this is going to be the work I'm working on. So yeah, we have to finish. Like you can see that I have worked up like a big part already. I have to finish the tree, and then I still have the upper part left where we have Santa and the deers. So I'm going to say that I'm through like 2/3 of it, I would say. So there's 1/3, a little bit more left, and I'm going to try to burn through it as quickly as possible. But with my current schedule at work, it's pretty hard, to be quite honest. So this is the whipping part. The sipping part is get something to drink, stay healthy, stay hydrated. I got a cup of black tea. You know I don't drink coffee, but black tea is always welcome. So I have my black tea. So grab something while you work alongside me and while I'm talking, because this is the other part, whip and sip and chat. So I'm going to be chatting about my daily life. First of all, before we're going to kick this off, I told you about the canvas. I'm going to say a Happy New Year for each and everyone who has not yet seen any of the most recent videos. But I really hope you started this year in a nice way and a good way, and that your health is very great as well, and that everyone is doing fine. If it has been a bad year or the year started badly, think about it. It does probably not go on like this. Where there's an up, there's a down. Where's down, there's an up. So stay focused on the up. And with that, I'm going to start today's video. So we are going to talk a little bit more about a topic that I really love to talk about, and that's London. So I'm going to zoom into this part. I really started a little bit earlier, right before I had to go to work. I did have a few minutes left, so I was like, okay, I'm going to start this already, and then I will move on a little bit more through it later when I'm with you guys. So I'm going to put that a little bit closer. I'm going to try, ooh, this is a lot. I don't know how I will get everything into the canvas since my desk is not as big. Maybe I should go up a little bit so that you can still see the part. So you should be able to see the part. If this does not move too much, I have to move forward a little bit. We are getting there. We are getting there. I go up a little bit more. So you can see we are going to work on this section here, and it does end here. So this is the section I'll be working on. I'm not sure I'm going to finish it today on camera. This depends all on how quick I am and what the schedule is. I see that I don't see a lot. Like, this is something that I have noticed with Dreamer Designs canvases. So it does happen sometimes that you do not see as well. Especially during the night. And here at the moment the light is like really bad. Let me try to see if that's better. Is it better? You can still see. You don't get too much of a reflection, I hope. Maybe on that part, so I can place something there for you not to have the reflection. I have noticed this in my most recent video, that you got a lot of reflection. I'm so sorry about that. I don't want to blind anyone. But yeah, so let's move on. What am I going to talk about? So I think this should be fine for the setup, and you should be able to see. I don't know if anyone will see or if you're just listening, but both is very fine. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about is London. So you know that I really love visiting London, and I had the pleasure again to go back there this year. So let me grab just quickly a color that I'm going to place down some drills while I talk. So I went to London this year with, well, I have already been to London during July, and no, it was not July, it was actually September. What am I saying? During September, I went there, and we did go back like for Christmas, like a little bit after Christmas we went there. And this time I went with my boyfriend and with my grandfather as well. He should have come already the first time when we went in September, but since he got a little bit sick, he was unable to make it, and we went like there on our own, which was still fine. So it was like we had a great time back then. But I promised him ever since we went there last year in summer, like not 2023 but 2022, I went with my grandpa. I promised him to take him back like during Christmas. And we aim to go there to see like Christmas decorations, so and the Christmas markets and so on. So we decided to go there like after Christmas, which we celebrated with the family. And then we left like on the 26th, and we stayed until the 2nd in London, so that we would spend like a lot of like enough time there to discover new things, to do like old things we have already seen, to get to look at the Christmas markets, and as well like to just kind of not have this rush time, and to see how they celebrate like New Year's Eve. So I'm going to tell you a lot about all the different stuff, but I'm going to go through them like daily. I put up my iPad because otherwise I will forget about like all the different things we have done. I have not yet done like this little booklet I usually do after the holidays. I waited this year to put like all of the holidays in one book. So I have the photos on my iPad, and I'm going to try to think and remember to blend them in when I do the video later, the video editing, so that you can see like what I'm actually talking about. So this is going to be mainly a whip and sip and chat about the trip. Since we were there like for 5 days, I think there's enough material to talk about. So anyways, let's start it off. So we went there, like I told you guys, on December 26th. This was like, I think it was Thursday, if I'm correct. Like it was more at the end of the week that we went there. And it was pretty good. Like my friend always said, yeah, I don't take the plane when I go there during winter, just because like you never know with the weather conditions, but we actually had no problem at all. So the plane took off a little bit later because like the crew was like, I don't say they were missing, but there was a lot of people who were sick, so they had to have a standby crew get ready. But the plane took off, and like there were no disturbances or anything. Like I recently heard about, like, I don't know if it was in Canada, but like this plane where the window blew out. I'm sorry, I don't have anything like this to tell. The plane and like the whole traveling went pretty smoothly. And I always love how when you take the plane from where I live, actually, you have two airports in London. You have the Heathrow Airport and you have the London City Airport. And the nice part is actually that we always land at the London City Airport, which is pretty small, I feel. And this makes it actually pretty cozy to be there. You get through the control pretty quickly, border control, and then you're out and you're ready and good to go. So we arrived pretty early because my mom came and got us in the morning, like at about 3:30 in the morning she came, and then she dropped us off on the airplane, not the airplane of course, but the airport. And the plane left at 6 something, I think. So it was pretty early, and I'm honest, I did not sleep much that night, just because whenever I travel, I get really excited and I really have difficulties to fall asleep. And same thing happened, like I'm used to it. So I was a little bit tired first day, but it will be the day that we walked the most. You know, when I travel with my grandpa and my family in general, my mom, they love walking, and so they can't like sit quietly, and they have to move a lot. And so what they love to do is walk and discover things by walking. And that's actually what we did again. So the first day we walked actually like 20 kilometers, and my grandpa is already a little bit older, but he does actually not mind. He really loves to work as much and walk as much. And so he was like not minding that at all, that we worked a long time. So as for the weather, when we were there, they did say that there would be like rain most of the days, but we only had like rain the first and the last day. The days between, like, it was a little bit grayish sometimes. The sun came out often enough, and actually it was pretty nice. So it was like about 10 degrees. It was actually warmer than we had here, which is quite weird because they always say that London is like this rainy country, but I heard that back home the weather was really worse. So I'm not always sure about what they say about England and their weather. They have not yet seen like my country, I guess. Here it's at least the same, I would say. So when we were there, we came on pretty early, and luckily enough, the hotel was already ready, so we could go in there, drop off the baggage, and just work out and get to see things. We were located, I'm not going to do some publicity here, so it's just like I tell you actually what happened. So we stayed in the hotel called Ibis that was close to Tower Bridge, and it was next to the station Aldgate East. So it's pretty close to the center. Last time we were staying, in September, we were staying in Greenwich, which is a little bit more outside of it. And since we were with Grandpa, I really wanted to get something that's closer to the center so that we did not have like to walk a lot if we wanted to go back to the hotel. And from there you have actually quite good links or metro stations to get everywhere. It's really, really central. So that's something nice. If you want to stay somewhere, you can, and you don't need to stay in a like a 5-star hotel. I think that this hotel does do, and it's pretty nice. They were really kind. They gave us the keys right away without any trouble. And then we could just like stay there and go visit. The first thing we did, like we went there, we just dropped up everything. And then we went like to go see Tower Bridge again and the castle. So the thing is that when we went there, it started raining, and that's the only time that it rained. I told you the last and the first day, that was the time when it started raining. And so actually it was not just raining, it was really pouring. And we were on the way to go to the castle, and it does take you like 50-minute walk, I would say, to get there. And I was like really not intelligent. I did not bring like my coat that has actually that's repelling the water. No, I did bring like a coat that was keeping me warm, but there was no protection against rain. I did have like my umbrella, but with all the wind that was going on, it was pretty useless. So we got drained and we were like really, really wet. And that was a time when Grandpa started like a little bit fuming about it, because he had like his coat. He did have like protection against the rain, but it was not enough. So he was like really drenched and soaked into water from head to toe, especially his pants. And it was really funny. He was like, oh no, people are going to think I just peed myself. And I was like, no, you have to look at around you and you see that everyone is like really soaked in water and really not nice weather. So we actually we arrived at the Tower Bridge. And if you have been there, close to the tower, like the castle, you have a lot of cafes and stuff like that. So we actually just like went to the cafe and waited for the rain to end, which it did pretty quickly. And what was really beautiful, once it had finished raining, like there was the sun that came out, and it was really, really beautiful to see the castle again and to see everything in the light. So even after it rained, like there were a lot of people, and it did not really matter because we had already seen it, but it was still beautiful to have a look at it. So I hope you can still see, because like my light went out once more. I still have to find someone to fix it, still not done. but I'm probably going to ask someone to come by and have a look at the electricity, because that's starting to get a little bit on my nerves. But I think you see enough to see the placement of the drills. At least I hope you do. So this was the first thing we did. So after having a coffee and a breakfast, like everyone got a little croissant or something we liked, we started walking, and we decided for the first day like to finish our tour south of the Thames. So we actually walked over Tower Bridge, and from there we walked alongside the water, discovering a few very nice things. So there were actually new statues that they placed there alongside the river. Once you got over the bridge, there was also the very first Christmas market that they had. But when we arrived, of course, it was still early in the morning, everything was closed, so we did not have the chance to go and have a look at it. But since it was very close to where we stayed, we decided to go back later during the trip and have a look at what they sold there. It was not as big, so in general, I think the Christmas decorations they had up there after Christmas itself was pretty disappointing. For a capital, I think it was really not as beautiful. The Christmas market was really not something that did blow my mind, and I thought that they said that there would be so much to look at during Christmas in London, but I really think that part was pretty disappointing. If you go there just to see Christmas market, please don't go there, go somewhere else. In Germany they have really beautiful Christmas markets, but I think you will be disappointed if you go to London with the idea to see a lot of Christmas stuff, because that does not really happen there. I feel at least this year, I have never been there before, but I was disappointed about it. So yeah, we kind of walked next to the Thames, and we visited, we had a look at the different things we had already seen during our first trip there. So there was less new stuff that we've seen, but I always love walking alongside the southern part of the Thames, because I think that is really beautiful place. You got a lot of beautiful views. You get to see Sky Garden from the other side. You get to see all of these more modern buildings. Afterwards you get to see St. Paul's Cathedral, and I think that is really a nice view that you have from over there. So once that was done, what actually happened is that we went further along, and we arrived at the Borough Market. So Borough Market was actually the place where I stayed close to last time with Grandpa, and we did never eat though with him there, because he was how should I put this, he does not really love to experiment a lot with food. So he has his idea of what he wants to eat, which is traditional European, I would say. So don't come with a lot of Asian food or Indian food or Chinese food, which is Asian food. Indian is also Asian food, but you know what I mean. Don't come with something exotic that's not Italian or German or whatever, or French. He's probably going to be I don't know what is this. I don't know if I'm going to like it. So he's really difficult with food, I would say. But since he was not alone traveling with me, he did make some effort in that. But yeah, like I said, we arrived at the Borough Market. Borough Market is really a very nice place. If you want to have some extra food, go there. They have a lot of different stands there from regions all over the world, and you get super nice food. Really, I love the food there. We did get something in the end. He got the same thing as I did, which was a sandwich with pork belly that was roasted. I think it's called the black pig. My boyfriend, he got Japanese. He already got the same dish last time, and he was saying this is the best Japanese that he has ever tasted. So he went back to this stand, and he got his, I don't know, it was a bowl with some rice and chicken, and I don't know, but he was really loving that food, so he got it again this time. And it was nice because while we were sitting there, it started raining again, but the rain passed by while we ate. There's a little story I wanted to tell. So when we were like, just before we arrived at Borough Market, so there was actually like, they did place some statues there. And there was like this one statue I saw that I really wanted to take a picture of. It was not a painting, but it was actually a statue with animals. And the animals did do like, they did bicycle, like went for bicycle, and it was one big bicycle with a lot of animals, and there was one spot free where you could sit down and take a picture of it. And when I've seen it, I have already seen like all the people who were waiting there, so I did queue up to take a picture. And eventually Grandpa did also notice it, but he was like, he's the kind of person that gets really excited about something, and then he forgets like the world that's around him, and he just sees that stuff. So he went there, and when he seen it, there was just like that person coming off from the bicycle, leaving it free for the next person to go there. So it was really the perfect moment, and he was already running to it, like he wanted to take place on the vehicle. And I was like, Grandpa, no, just wait, there's a line, you have to stand in the line. And finally he understood, and he came back. But like, this is like really typical him, and we did laugh so hard because at the beginning he did not understand. So he was really super excited about it, and afterwards like we did take the picture with him sitting on the bicycle, and it was really funny. But I also noticed that like he has gotten a new iPhone, like the really last one that came out now, and the difference from the quality of his pictures to like my old iPhone is like, it's crazy. Like they did change so much, and it's really a big difference. And I'm thinking about like, since there's a lot of problem I'm having recently still with the storage, to maybe go get another one, but I'm not sure. I think it does still work, so I don't really like to change phones as long as they work. But the quality is, it's like really a big difference, really huge difference. So yeah, that was like the first thing, and later on when we were like at Borough Market, something very similar happened. But that was actually, I would not say it was our fault. Like it was probably our fault, we did not watch, but it was also like their way of signalizing things, because when we went there, like there were a lot of people, it was like around midday, and everyone was really hungry, so it's normal to be there, a lot of people. But the thing is that there was like a line, and when we came there, like we did stand in the line, but what we did not see was that the line actually, there was like a hole in the line where people could pass through, like to keep a place where people could pass through the street. And we did not see that. And apparently we were not the only ones, because behind us there was another person standing there, getting there. And the lady behind, who was like, I don't know, 5 meters away, a little bit more maybe, was looking at him very angrily, tipping on their shoulder and saying, yeah, that's not the line, that's not the line starts there. And the line was really starting way, way, way back. And so they did not address us, like they did not talk to us, probably since we were not talking in English. They did not know in which way to address us, or they just did let it slip for us, I don't really know. But I did not realize that we were standing on the wrong place. And it was later Grandpa told me, don't turn around, the lady is saying it's the wrong place, like we should be standing way back. And well, not to us, but to the other one. And it was really badly marked. And afterwards, like we went up the stairs where you could sit and have a look while you were eating. And I noticed that there were like many people who did the same, because they just like did not know or did not see where the line actually started. So I think it's not really our fault entirely. Like once we have known, we could have moved, but we had already been waiting there for like at least 5 minutes. So and since no one was saying anything, we just stayed there. And we kind of like, I think we won through that like a whole 20 minutes of waiting. So that was nice. Afterwards we went on the bench and we ate our little sandwich of pork belly, grilled pork belly. I'm getting hungry here. And it was really fun. We had a good time there. And even Grandpa, who is like not used to eating stuff like that, he found that it was really, really good. It was actually pork belly with a special way. I don't know what you call it, but it was with a very nice sauce, like a honey truffle sauce. And they did put some parmesan on top of it and some, cabbage, like some white cabbage, I think it was. And it was so delicious. Like, it was the same that I had last time I went there, and it was still as good. But with the wind that was blowing, it got quickly cold, so this was the sole disadvantage of it. But I really still enjoyed the food a lot, and I would definitely recommend it or go back there when we go back to London. After that, we continued our little walk, so we got next to the, what was it called? We went next to the Globe, like Shakespeare's old theater. We did not visit it though, but we just kind of walked around, and then eventually we got to St. James Park. And in St. James Park, well, we first saw Westminster, of course. We did see as well London Eye. I have never been there. I don't really want to go there. I think it's still too expensive for what it is, even though you get probably a very nice view. But that's not really something that I must see. So we passed that. Then we went to Westminster, where there were so many people. Like, I have been to London now a few times, and I have never seen so many people there in my whole entire life. Like, there were so many people, and you could not even move. And once we got there, like, they were even queuing up to do a picture, like with one of these old phone cabins, just to get the view with the Westminster on it. And it was crazy. So we went a little bit further, and we went to St. James Park, where we stayed for a little bit. We had a look at the little squirrels that were running around. It was really nice. I really love this park. It's really one of the spots where I go to every time I go there, just because it's so calm and so relaxing and so beautiful. Even in winter, when there are like a little bit less plants, I still think it's one of the most beautiful spots in London, at least for myself, I have seen so far. Yeah, so that was that. Afterwards, we were like kind of looking to find the Christmas markets, because that was like why we initially went there, but we did not find a lot. That's what I meant earlier. So we had just seen the Christmas at the Thames, which was closed. And afterwards, like, we did not see any Christmas markets, except maybe a few stands. No, that was not even for Christmas. I would have said like next to London Eye, but that was like the same things that were always there. So there was no really big Christmas feeling to it, and we did actually not discover a lot. The only thing that we did see was like a big crowd that went up to Hyde Park, and in Hyde Park there was actually what they called Winter Wonderland, and so we wanted to discover and see what that was about. And we went there, and I'm already talking 30 minutes and I'm still into just like the first day. So I told myself just quickly that I would do videos about half an hour. So I'm probably going to cut this video later on into few pieces, and you have to like endure more travel talk throughout the next weeks. This does help me to keep up a like more regular schedule for my YouTube, and also for like not burning out making videos, working on my shop, and also like doing work and cleaning my house, and getting like that me time, actually the fun time where I can rest. So I hope you understand and you accept this, because this is how it's going to be. So yeah, I'm just going to finish like the first day, and then I'm going to cut it off, and second day will be up for like next week. So the thing is that that was really what we did work through. And so we worked our way through Hyde Park, and by now everyone was like really tired. Grandpa was doing okay, but my boyfriend, he is not used to working as much, and so he was like really, really tired. And he did his best not to complain, because last time I did argue a little bit with him. I was saying, yeah, you always complain, but this time he did his best and he was doing so well. And I'm really proud of him for working and for giving his best. And in the end, like, we finally arrived at Hyde Park, and then we had to see that you had to pay entrance to get into like this Winter Wonderland Christmas park. Then I was like, what the heck? Why couldn't they say this way earlier? Like, you have to pay, I can't remember, like £7 person to go there. And what do you have inside? You actually don't have a lot of stuff inside. It's actually what we have here, like the FOA. FOA is actually more of a place where you can have like these attractions. Like, you can go up, do like, if you do like, what do you call that? Like the very quick stuff that the Russian mountains, we call it in French, les montagnes russes. Like all these little games you can do and stuff. Like you have food, but you don't have like really shops that do sell decorations, for example, or stuff. It's really more about the food and the little games and places you can go. So I was really disappointed, and we decided for £7 just to get some food and to see all these attractions we are not going to go and do. It would not be worth the while. So we decided to leave, and we did all of that for nothing, kind of way. And so we went back, and we went like next to, we crossed, like, we did not cross, but we went alongside Hyde Park, and then we went to Piccadilly Oxford Circus. And there is actually this big library that I love. So it's the Waterstones, but it's like a big one. And it does have a lot of different floors with a lot of different books and a lot of different sections. And when I went there, like, I was so happy. It's so, so beautiful. But since everyone was a little bit tired, we actually did just go home. So from there we did take the metro and we did go back. We did take a rest since I did sleep very badly last night. We had like a 2-hour rest where, sparkle alert again, where my boyfriend and I, we just like kind of took a rest in the hotel room, and Grandpa, he went for a drink, and afterwards we did meet again and we went out together to have lunch, like dinner. And we decided to go to the city. And we went to the city, and this time the Christmas markets were open. So we did see the one at Leicester Square. Is it Leicester Square? Anyway, we did see that one. It was small compared to what we have here even, but I guess it was okay-ish. And afterwards, like, we kind of went to eat some hot pot. We decided upon that, and Grandpa, he never had hot pot, so he did not really understand how or what he should have done. Like, for those who don't know what hot pot is, actually you have like, you choose your soup, and then you add like the ingredients you want to add, and you just kind of boil them in the water, and once they are finished you take them out and you eat it. And it's really delicious. So I took a little bit of squid with it and some vegetables, some mushrooms. My boyfriend, he took like meat, and Grandpa, he also took a little bit of meat. But in the end, we did not order enough of like dishes to put into the soup. So it was more of like a soup with a few dishes. And my boyfriend, he ordered like, he asked for a soup that was a little bit spicy, but not too spicy. And the guy said, yeah, it's the mildest thing we have, so it's not going to be super spicy. But when it arrived, it was like red. The soup was red with like the spice. And honestly, it was not eatable. Like, I kind of put him a few squishes, squishes into it. And squids into the soup, and later he did not eat it, and then I put it out to get it on my plate, and I really tried to just get like the squid, and there were a few droplets only of her soup that went into my bowl of soup. And I can tell you, I could not eat it. I was like, it was so spicy. It was horrible. But I have to say that it was really good. I enjoyed it, like the squids, the meat and everything, the mushrooms. It was really delicious. And I would love to go and do another hot pot. I actually have some kind of hot pot, Chinese fondue here at home. And I really love eating that. So maybe we should go soon, get some Asian shop and get the ingredients and do something like that at home. I would really love to do that. But afterwards, so we went to eat, then we did walk a little bit, and I will put down here, I tried to add the photo of the view we had, which was so beautiful. Like, it was really stunning to get this beautiful view of London by night, especially now with all the Christmas lights. I have to say the Christmas market was really disappointing, but the Christmas lights were beautiful. So it does look stunning and it does look beautiful. And yeah, so we did finish the day and we went back to the hotel. And with this, I'm going to stop the video for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you like following my little story about London, and the trip will continue in the next video. Until then, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, bye!